There is a scientifically supported exercise that can increase your leg strength by up to 33% in just 8 weeks. The best part is that it takes only about 15 minutes a day, and virtually anyone can do it. In a recent study, a group of young participants performed a single movement 3 times a week for 8 weeks and achieved this impressive leg strength gain. It's the parallel squat, where you lower yourself until your thigh is parallel to the floor, with one crucial detail: it's performed in super slow motion. The participants took 4 seconds to descend to parallel and another 4 seconds to rise back up, maintaining complete control of the movement at all times. After only 24 sessions, they increased their 3-rep max load by an average of 31%. To apply this protocol at home, clear a space where you can squat unhurriedly and have a stopwatch ready, or use a mental count. 1,000 and 2,000 up to 4 during the descent and the same pace on the ascent. Start with your feet shoulder-width apart, a neutral spine, and a braced core, performing 3 sets of 5 to 8 reps, always respecting 4 seconds for each phase of the movement. Rest 2 minutes between sets to allow for optimal muscle recovery. Although the study involved young adults, the same logic applies to those over 50. The slow execution dramatically increases the recruitment of both slow and fast twitch fibers, improves joint stability, and minimizes impact since you control every inch of the range. This prolonged stimulus promotes safe muscle hypertrophy and endurance, while also strengthening tendons and ligaments, reducing the risk of injuries common in fast, explosive workouts. For more experienced adults, an advanced variation is to hold light dumbbells or use a resistance band around the knees, intensifying the stimulus on the gluteus medius and maximus. Another adaptation is to include a 2-second isometric pause at the parallel position, followed by a slow ascent, which further emphasizes muscle tension. If you experience knee discomfort, adjust the depth to an angle that is pain-free, but always maintain the slow rhythm. In just 15 minutes a day, you incorporate this controlled squat into your strength training, reaping benefits beyond increased load capacity, improved balance, neuromuscular coordination, and body awareness. Keep a training log to monitor reps, depth, and time under tension, and adjust variables, weight, reps, or pause duration as you gain strength. This way, you ensure a sustainable and safe progression, turning a simple exercise into a powerful ally for stronger, healthier legs. Not only did they increase their 3-rep max load by 31% in 8 weeks, but they also recorded an average 10% growth in quadriceps volume. It's true the study was conducted with young, untrained men who tend to respond very well to almost any exercise stimulus, and not with those over 50, but even if you achieve half of these results, the impact on your life will be huge. Here is the exact protocol used. A single exercise, the parallel squat, performed 3 times a week with 2 sets of 6 reps, descending in 4 seconds to a parallel thigh-to-floor angle and ascending in 4 seconds, resting 2 minutes between sets. To enhance this program and make it even more comprehensive for those over 50, aiming to improve leg strength, we can include 2 additional scientifically supported exercises. The first is the slow Bulgarian split squat. With the rear foot supported on a bench, step the other leg forward into a lunge position, descend in 6 seconds until the knee almost touches the floor, and ascend in 4 reps per leg, 2 sets, 90-second rest. Research published in the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research shows strength gains of up to 25% in quadriceps and glutes after 8 weeks. The second is the slower tempo heel elevated squat. Positioning your heels on a small step with an upright torso, perform squats with a 5-second descent and a 5-second ascent, 3 sets of 8 reps, 2-minute rest. According to a study in the European Journal of Applied Physiology, This increases activation of the vastus medialis by 20% and improves joint stability. By maintaining the slow execution, you prolong time under tension, recruit both fast and slow twitch fibers, improve neuromuscular coordination, and reduce joint impact, ideal for those over 50 with stability concerns or prior aches. Always start by adjusting range of motion to your mobility, and if needed, use chair support or a band around the knees to ensure alignment. Log each session in a training journal, noting depth, descent, ascent time, and loads used, and progressively adjust variables as your body gains strength. This way, you not only have a single proven protocol to increase your strength by up to 31% in 8 weeks, but also a mini program of 3 complementary exercises that will transform your legs and your life from the inside out. They used only the parallel squat, loading participants with 40% of their 1-rep max, and executing the movement in super slow fashion, 4 seconds to descend until the thigh is parallel to the floor, and 4 seconds to ascend again, performing 8 repetitions in 3 sets, with a few minutes of rest between each set, and repeating this routine 3 times per week for 8 weeks, which resulted in an average 31% increase in leg strength. It seems simple, doesn't it? But before trying it at home, it's important to consult a physician to ensure you're fit to follow this protocol. And if you feel any pain, stop immediately. To perform the slow parallel squat at home, set up a stable surface at hip height, keep your feet shoulder-width apart, brace your core, and control each phase of the movement using a stopwatch or mental count, 1,000 and 2,000 up to 4, both on the descent and the ascent. Beyond the parallel squat, we can enrich this program with 4 complementary exercises that work synergistically to maximize strength and endurance gains for those over 50. The first is the slow Bulgarian split squat, which involves placing the rear foot on a bench, descending in 6 seconds until the knee almost touches the floor, and ascending in 6, performing 3 sets of 5 repetitions per leg with 90-second rests. This variation increases unilateral quadriceps and glute recruitment, correcting asymmetries. The second is the heel elevated squat. Place your heels on a low step and execute the same time under tension as the parallel squat, 5 seconds for each phase. 3 sets of 8 repetitions with 2-minute rests, specifically stimulating the vastus medialis and improving ankle dorsiflexion. Next, the third exercise is the assisted shrimp squat, a deep single-leg squat in which the other leg folds behind, holding on to a support for balance, descending in 8 seconds and ascending in 8, 3 sets of 3 to 5 repetitions per side, developing eccentric strength and knee stability. The fourth movement is the Nordic hamstring curl, performed kneeling with the ankles fixed, descending slowly as far as possible, and pushing yourself back up in 4 sets of 6 repetitions, strengthening the posterior thigh and preventing injuries. Finally, we finish with the wall isometric plank with partial squat. Slide your back slowly down a wall until your knees form a 90-degree angle, holding the position for 30 to 45 seconds in 3 sets, isometrically strengthening the quadriceps and core. By combining these 5 practices, slow parallel squat, slow Bulgarian split squat, heel elevated squat, assisted shrimp squat, and Nordic hamstring curl, and maintaining progressive overload and time under tension, you'll have a robust program that not only increases leg strength as scientifically proven, but also improves stability, mobility, and overall endurance, ensuring safety and consistent results after 8 weeks of training. And now I want to hear from you. Which of these results motivates you the most to put the slow parallel squat into practice? Gaining up to 33% strength in 8 weeks, increasing quadriceps volume by 10%, improving knee stability, better controlling the movement with a 4 seconds down and 4 seconds up count, or preventing injuries with the super slow execution? Share your goals, questions, and challenges in the comments. I read every story and use your feedback to create videos that truly help you progress safely and intelligently. If this scientific protocol inspired you, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon, and join our community of people seeking solid results without rushing but with consistency. Invite someone you love to try the slow squat and discover how just 15 minutes a day can transform your leg strength. Leave "let's go" in the comments and let's move forward together, step by step, toward a stronger, more confident life. The first step to replicating the protocol used in the study is to find a weight that corresponds to 40% of your 1-rep max, meaning the maximum load you can lift just once. However, directly testing your 1RM can be impractical and even risky, especially for those over 50, so a safer alternative is to use a 1-rep max calculator or indirect methods based on submaximal loads. For example, if you can complete 10 reps with a given weight until muscular failure, simply plug that value into a simple formula, like Epley's, to estimate your 1RM. From there, calculate 40% of that value and use it as your load for the slow squat, maintaining a 4-second descent and a 4-second ascent. Another practical option is to adopt the rate of perceived exertion scale. Choose a weight that, by the end of the 8th rep, places you around a 7 or 8 on a 0 to 10 effort scale. That way, you'll already be working close to 40% of your true 1-rep max. Important: always perform a progressive warm-up, starting with body weight or a light load for 2 sets of 5 reps to activate the muscles and prepare the joints. Then gradually increase to your target load, ensuring proper posture, feet shoulder width apart, knees aligned with the toes, torso upright, and a braced core. If you experience any discomfort or pain, stop immediately and, if needed, consult an exercise professional or physical therapist to adjust your technique and load. Additionally, for those seeking a complete strength program, it's worth pairing the slow squat with complementary exercises that replicate other functional demands. For instance, the front lunge at a controlled pace, 5 seconds down and 5 seconds up, which unilaterally strengthens the quadriceps and gluteus maximus. The Romanian deadlift with light dumbbells, focusing on a neutral spine position, and a slow descent until the hamstrings stretch. Calf raises under time under tension, 3 seconds up, 3 seconds down, which improve ankle stability and foot propulsion, and the front plank with alternating leg extensions, which fortifies the core and synergistic performance between the trunk and lower limbs. For each of these exercises, follow the same time under tension logic. Keep a slow, controlled cadence. Perform 3 sets of 6 to 10 reps and rest 1.5 to 2 minutes between sets. This way, you create a mini cycle of 5 exercises that, in addition to replicating the 33% strength gain protocol in 8 weeks, promotes muscular balance, joint endurance, and improved neuromuscular coordination, all safely adapted to the needs of those over 50. But 40% of your 1-rep max corresponds to a load you can lift about 30 to 40 times before reaching fatigue, according to scientific data, so you'll need to estimate this weight practically. You can use a dumbbell or a water bottle, a bag of books, or even a backpack loaded with something heavy, holding it all against your chest. The important thing is to choose an object that allows you to complete at least 30 reps, but no more than 40, before your legs become too tired, ensuring you're working close to 40% of your maximal effort. Next, you only need a sturdy chair. We won't sit on it, but use it as a reference point to maintain alignment and preserve posture during the slow squat. Position the chair behind you at a distance that prevents contact but offers safety in case you lose balance. This way, you can descend to parallel height without the risk of falling, boosting your confidence to maintain the controlled rhythm of 4 seconds down and 4 seconds up. To create a complete program of 5 movements adapted for those over 50, combine this super slow parallel squat protocol with 4 more coordinated exercises. 1. The slow Bulgarian split squat, which challenges each leg individually using the chair to support the back foot and 6-second descents. 2. The elevated heel squat, placing the heels on a step and controlling time under tension with 5 seconds per phase. 3. The assisted shrimp squat, lightly supporting yourself on the chair to balance while performing a single leg slow squat. And 4. The Nordic hamstring curl, anchoring your ankles under the chair and descending slowly to the limit of your range to strengthen the back of the thigh. Perform each exercise for 3 sets of 6 to 10 reps, with 1.5 to 2 minutes of rest in between. This way, you not only replicate the original 33% strength gain protocol, but also expand the stimulus for balance, mobility, and muscular endurance, all using simple items like an improvised weight and an ordinary chair you already have at home. Use the chair only as a depth guide. The goal isn't to sit, but to feel the light contact of your glutes on the seat to know you've reached the correct squat depth, then immediately begin the ascent without pause. In practice, place the chosen load, whether the backpack or the dumbbell, against your chest. Position yourself close to the chair, with feet shoulder-width apart, torso upright and core braced, and perform the super slow movement. 1, 2, 3, 4 seconds on the descent until you feel the gentle touch on the seat, and another 4 seconds returning to the top, always maintaining control. To get the most out of this protocol and make it safer and more complete for those over 50, you can include 4 more complementary exercises in a sequence of 5, ensuring a comprehensive and varied stimulus in just 15 minutes a day. Begin your session with the slow parallel squat, lightly resting your glutes on the chair as a depth reference before rising. Perform 3 sets of 8 repetitions with 2 minutes of rest. Next, move on to the assisted Bulgarian split squat. Place your back foot on the chair, hold the weight at your chest, lower for 6 seconds until your knee is almost touching the floor, and rise for 6 seconds, completing 3 sets of 5 reps per leg with 90 seconds of rest. This unilateral exercise corrects imbalances and strengthens the glutes and quadriceps. The third movement is the elevated heel squat. Support your heels on a step or ledge, hold the load at your chest, and perform slow squats with 5 seconds down and 5 seconds up for 3 sets of 8 reps, resting 2 minutes between sets. This intensifies activation of the vastus medialis and improves ankle dorsiflexion. Then perform the assisted shrimp squat. With the chair beside you, lightly support yourself with one hand to balance and execute a single leg squat, lowering for 8 seconds and rising for 8 in 3 sets of 4 reps per side. This exercise develops eccentric strength and hip and knee stability. To finish, include the Nordic hamstring curl with your ankles secured under the chair seat. Kneel facing the chair frame, keep your torso aligned, and descend slowly as far as you can before using your hands to push your body back up. Perform 4 sets of 6 repetitions with 2 minutes of rest. This movement intensely strengthens the hamstrings and reduces injury risk. With this 5-exercise sequence, you turn a simple slow squat into a complete routine that increases strength by up to 33%, improves muscle mass by 10%, and develops balance, coordination, and joint endurance. By performing this practice 3 times per week for 8 weeks, you will create varied stimuli, maintain motivation, and put science at the service of an intelligent, safe, and effective workout. And by putting it all into practice, you'll feel firsthand the importance of every second under tension. Position yourself close to the chair. Hold the load at your chest. Ensure your feet are shoulder-width apart and your core is braced. Then descend super slowly, counting 1, 2, 3, 4 until you lightly touch the seat with your glutes without sitting, and rise the same way, 1, 2, 3, 4, feeling every muscle fiber working. Repeat this cycle 8 times in a row without pausing or dropping the weight until you complete the 8th ascent. If the load is well adjusted, that easy-to-improvise object of books or bottles, you'll notice moderate effort that becomes challenging by the third or fourth rep. If, after completing the 8 counts, you still feel nothing, it's a sign you need to increase the weight slightly to achieve the correct stimulus. As soon as you finish, rest the weight on the chair, take a deep breath, and rest fully for 2 minutes before starting the next set. This rest interval is just as important as the movement itself because it gives your muscles time to partially recover, ensuring you maintain execution quality in all subsequent repetitions. During those 2 minutes, take the opportunity to walk slowly, gently swing your arms, and keep your core engaged. This helps flush out accumulated metabolites and prepares your body for another round of 4-second descents and 4-second ascents. In total, you will perform 3 full sets of this protocol, which amounts to 24 super slow squats per session, 3 times a week. And now, after diving into this controlled strength time under tension challenge, I want to know from you, how was your first experience with these precise counts? Were you able to feel your quadriceps burn on the descent, or notice your glute engage on the ascent? Did you have any questions about choosing the right load or adjusting depth using the chair as a guide? Share your impressions, difficulties, and small victories in the comments. Every bit of feedback helps me tailor upcoming videos even more and offer targeted tips for those on the same journey. If this protocol motivated you to discover that just 15 minutes, with consistency and patience, can transform your strength, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so you don't miss any episode of this series focused on real results. Invite a friend or family member to take on this challenge with you, schedule your sessions on the calendar, and provide mutual support. When we train in community, motivation stays high. Leave the word challenge in the comments right now if you're up for doing 3 sets of 8 super slow repetitions this week. And also tell us what your biggest takeaway was when adjusting the weight or controlling the count. Was it in your breathing, balance, or posture? Let's build together a space of support and exchange because each step or each slow count is another rung toward stronger legs, a more stable body, and much more confidence in daily life. To embrace this challenge effectively and reap all possible benefits, it's important to understand the purpose of each stage and adopt strategies that keep your motivation high over the 8 weeks. First, recognize why 3 sets of 8 slow repetitions 3 times a week make such a difference. By extending each movement phase for 4 seconds, you maximize time under tension, which is the main stimulus for increasing strength and muscle hypertrophy. This controlled cadence also improves your body awareness, making you notice micro-adjustments in posture, core activation, and knee-to-foot alignment, reducing the risk of long-term injury. At the start of week 1, pay special attention to your technique. Use a mirror or ask someone to help you confirm that your knees don't travel past your toes, that your spine remains neutral, and that your gaze is fixed on a point ahead. Record in a notebook or note-taking app not only how many reps you completed, but also how you felt. Where you felt the most burn, on which rep you hit the peak difficulty, and whether any unexpected discomfort arose. These observations will be invaluable for adjusting loads and depth in the following weeks. To ensure consistency, set fixed training days each week. For example, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Schedule reminders on your phone and mark them on a physical calendar. If possible, pair the short squat session with an already established habit, such as right after breakfast or before your evening shower. This helps your brain associate the new activity with something already consolidated, creating habit triggers. Don't underestimate the power of recovery. Between sets, stand up, lightly stretch your lower limbs, and mobilize your ankles, hips, and shoulders. After each session, perform a gentle stretch for your quadriceps, hamstrings, and calves, holding each position for 20 to 30 seconds. A brief circulatory flush, A 1-minute easy walk at the end helps reduce delayed soreness and speeds up the removal of metabolic waste. Nutrition is also part of the protocol. Prioritize protein-rich meals in the hours before and after training. Yogurt, scrambled eggs, shredded chicken, or a fruit smoothie with protein powder are great options. Constant hydration of at least 1.5 to 2 liters of water per day improves performance and recovery. And don't neglect sleep. 7 to 8 hours of rest consolidate muscular adaptations and regulate anabolic hormones like GH, growth hormone. For motivation, share your journey with friends or family. Invite someone to take the challenge with you or post brief updates on social media. Each like or comment provides positive reinforcement, keeping your engagement high. If you have access to an online health and wellness group, post your training log and ask for feedback. Sometimes just knowing others are following along gives you that extra push to show up. Over the weeks, plateaus are normal, periods when progress seems stalled. At those times, focus on small wins. Perhaps you gained a few seconds of control on the descent, or notice fatigue kicking in a bit later. Note these details in your log. If needed, take a deload week in week 5. Reduce the load by 10% or cut back to 2 sets per session, helping your body recover before resuming the normal pace. Finally, upon completing 8 weeks, take a moment to compare notes. How has your strength improved? How much deeper can you squat now? Has your coordination gotten better? Write a brief report of your impressions and, of course, come back here to share in the comments. Remember to use the hashtag #Desafio4 so we can follow your story and celebrate your achievements together. I'm eager to read about your transformation because each story inspires not only me, but our entire community. So let's get to work. Adjust your weight, align your chair, start the timer, and let's discover together how much you can transform your body with intelligence, patience, and safety.